Salt. This is Salt Papi versus Josh Brueckner. Okay.
Misfits Boxing is coming back to London on January the 14th. A huge card stacked, topped by KSI versus Dylan Dennis. The undercard is looking fire. We've been through some already, but today, possibly, fight of the night is on there. Josh Brueckner, who beat Chase Demore in big fashion in Texas last month against Salt Papi, maybe the most feared man in the crossover boxing scene. Both of them join me today in the Digital Face-Off. Boys, how you doing?
How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Hey, man, the way you keyed that up just puts a big smile on my face, makes the adrenaline get going. I'm stoked for this.
So I see you, big smile, man. You must be feeling ready for Jan 14th already.
Yeah, I feel very excited. Just can't wait to show everybody.
This the fight I want to see, chat. This the fight I want to see, man.
And yeah,
I want to see Salt Papi get an extreme main event, bro. And Salt Papi deserves that shit, bro.
Tell me, Salt,
I do think that Salt Papi needs to create more content because I feel like we don't have anything for like the person. The boxer, we got a lot of content, you know what I mean? But we need more like stuff besides like just TikToks, you know what I mean?
I want to start with you because I
don't even really see him on my For You page anymore.
I've seen you call out loads of people. I've seen loads of names linked with your names. I forgot to be honest, I didn't expect to see Josh back out this quick. How happy are you that it is Josh that's going to fight you, who has come off a great win just a few weeks ago?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank Misfit Boxing, Mom Stater, and obviously Josh Brueckner for taking this fight with me. It's kind of hard to get fights nowadays. Nobody wants to fight each other. And it's just good to see, like, two undefeated. We're both young, we're both strong, and we're fighting, like, at the very early.
That sounded like Shannon Thompson or Shannon Briggs' statement where he was talking about Logan. And he was like, he's white, he's tall. What do you say? He got long legs. Like, what is happening right now?
This early stage when we can just wait.
Nah, Deji's not
for the moment, but now we're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, he is. I think he has a smack himself video or
Josh,
something.
What do you know of Salt Papi? I mean, every crossover boxer knows of Salt Papi. There is no question of that. But what do you know about him? What do you know of him as a fighter?
Well, first off, I want to say I appreciate the fight, and I want to thank Salt for taking the fight as well. Like he was saying, a lot of people, I think, duck like tough fights in this crossover boxing industry, and I know Salt Papi is a beast. You can see it on the comments, you can see it on all the Instagram polls. He's favored to win this fight. A lot of people are like super excited to see him fight again. They're saying I'm going to get KO'd. So for me, that excites me, that fuels me because
love you, Defo.
You saw my last fight, and it was kind of hard to win.
I kind of like that there's not like crazy drama on this card, chat. Like there's not too many people that are trying to make it more than what it is. A lot of the people have like actual respect for each other, but I'm just hoping that when it comes down to the face-off, and when they, not the face-off, but the press conference, they're not talking more shit. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're really gonna see like the real stuff come out. But I don't know. I just, because there was even this, what's his name? I think the guy's name is DTG, bro. That nigga posted like some post where he was like, what the fuck did he say, man? He said some dumb shit like, I did this fight for my mental health, but this nigga was like screaming and spitting on niggas at the damn press conference. Like, nigga, what the fuck? How did that help your mental health? Like, what the fuck what are you talking about? Like, stop it. Everybody tries to use that mental health shit to get some clicks, and that shit is weird.
Wake up and get excited for that last fight because he was he's not the best fighter, but I did like the challenge because he was 50 pounds heavier than me, way bigger than me, and I've never fought someone that big before. I mean, you could see the size difference. I felt like a little man next to him.
Kind of freak shit. This nigga Josh, it sounds like a 12-year-old.
So yeah, I'm excited for this fight to actually be back in my weight class and to fight a tough opponent in Salt Papi. I love the way people talk about him, that he's the best crossover boxer in the industry. So we're gonna put that to the test on January 14th, and I think it's gonna be a war. We're preparing for
a war, definitely, man, 100%.
4 rounds.
I'm gonna ask to go into this war definition in just a moment, why we expect to see one. But before we do, it was, listen, massive props for beating Chase in the fashion that you did. We could say what we like about his fighting ability, but the size difference was there, and that can often play a huge part. You didn't let it play a huge part. So did you see Josh's fight in Texas? And if you did, what did you make of it?
It
You about to say
was
something
kind
crazy.
of hard to tell because of how, like, how awkward Chase was against him.
Yeah.
So he couldn't really, he couldn't really do what he does. But against me, yeah, probably, we'll see. I don't want to, tell too much. But it's gonna be a war. It's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, for everybody watching, make sure to buy the ticket, the pay-per-view. It's gonna be on one of the best fight of the night.
100% buy yourself a ticket.
Yeah, me and Josh, we don't talk too much trash. People know who the best fighter, like by just watching us. Like the real boxers know who can fight and who cannot.
We let the
Like some
hands
people,
talk, baby.
yeah, just some people in the YouTube boxing they talk trash, but they don't really know how to fight.
That's what excited me about this fight is Salt Papi's actually about it. You see him training.
It seems like I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It seems like Salt Papi is about to wash this man off the fucking map. And why does Chris look like he's about to just jump through the screen and take my cheeks? Like, why did I pause it like this? This is crazy.
See him put in the work, and you even see the progress he's made in his physical appearance over the years, which huge congrats to you. Kudos to you on that. That's something me and my wife are super passionate about, is moving, inspiring people to move, and we even have a fit.
I'm trying to get your body, bro.
It excites me, it excites me.
I'm trying to get muscle, man. Like you in it.
Yeah, hell yeah. You'll get there, bro. You're crushing it. But but at the same time, like, I want people watching this to know, like, you see the level of respect here, because we know what we've done, and we can see what we're putting in the gym. But like, when it comes fight night, obviously we both want to get our hands raised. And yeah, we'll be going to work.
Josh is literally just big, bro.
Let's talk about how we go about
He's just big.
Raised.
There's nothing else
Josh,
coming with his. There's no skill. He's just big.
Andy Warski, not to throw any disrespect on anybody's name, same as with Chase Demore, it was an opponent that Salt should have been beaten and had to beat to continue on his journey. He did beat him, but the way he beat him was devastating. Yep. How do you avoid that happening to you in January?
Well, that's the thing. Like you're saying, it's hard to kind of judge a fight based off that. Like, you could see the difference in the skill level. But at the same time, I mean, Saul still looked good. He had good footwork. He moved well through good feints. And yeah, he's got the knockout power, which that's why it makes it an exciting fight, because you saw what I did to Chase with 50 pounds heavier than me, and he couldn't even get off the stool for the third round. And I would like to say the same thing would have happened to him in that third round if he got off the stool.
Okay.
As what happened to Andy Warski, whatever his name is.
I'll watch it.
Salt fought. So yeah, so I think this fight's going to be fireworks.
So over to you. Do you see the fight going any similar? Do you see it going in a similar way to your fight with Andy? A different style of fight? What do you see happening in January? And how do you make sure Josh doesn't do to you what he did to Chase Demore?
I'm always training hard for all my fights, even with Ham and the Warski. Always put all my best, and
he looks good as shit to be 27.
For this fight, I'm training hard as always. I started running, sprinting, and all that shit. Try more cardio. So what happened to Chase?
Was he not running before? How did he lose all that weight? What the fuck?
This doesn't happen to me because I'm not gonna gas out.
Yeah, I love that.
So, are you looking for a knockout here? Are you predicting a knockout, Josh, here?
Everything's gonna be a knockout, man. It's gonna be a stoppage or a knockout. It's either me or him.
How do you plan to inflict?
I like that
on Josh. How do you plan on sort of chopping the trunk until the tree falls, so to speak? Are you going to be headhunting from round one? What kind of fight, without maybe going into too much you don't want to give away? I can appreciate that. How do you plan on stopping it?
I'll wait until the fight, innit? I'm not gonna say it now. You'll see. You have to watch by the pay-per-view. You know,
I love
it's
it.
gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight, man. Great fight. Like I said, this is we're two undefeated. We're both young, and we're gonna do our best on that night.
And we're testing ourselves too. That's what I love about this fight. That's what excites me about it.
No
Like you
cap,
said, he's 2-0,
Defo.
I'm 2-0, and we're both taking a tough fight. You know, we're not beating around the bush. We're not trying to, get our numbers up there, become 10-0 versus bums. You know, we want to take tough fights.
Exactly.
And that's the whole reason I got into fighting is competition. You know, I want to test myself. I want to make myself uncomfortable. You know, I don't want to live every day like just comfortable and, just passing through life. Like January 14th, it's going to be a big test, and we're going to see who put in the harder work in training camp, who's been putting in the days, the hours. And yeah, it's going to show on January 14th. And I'd like to say Saul Papi's putting in that work, so it's going to be a banger.
Putting in that work, boy. I'm putting in that work. You know,
let's go.
every day, all day, every day.
Love that.
Josh, how do you feel going to London, where Salt has he has a base there, he has a training camp, he's familiar in those territories in that area. How do you feel going to his garden, so to speak?
To his garden.
Just like I said, like I like to put
Joe
myself
versus
in that uncomfortable
Bez?
position. You know, I've never fought out of country, so that's super exciting. I'm stoked for that. I've never been to London.
I could never do that.
And I've never got booed in a fight, so we're gonna get all three in one night, and I think it would be super fun. But I'd like to, by the end of the night, earn the respect of the UK fans and also Saul Papi's fans, because
Definitely.
Yeah, right now I don't think it's there, and rightfully so. I mean, if I watched a guy beat up Chase, it's hard to say,
What does it do for your reputation then on continuing on that trend? What does it do for your reputation within the boxing fraternity if you get the win over Salt Papi, especially if it's a knockout victory? What does it do for you and your name and your career?
Yeah, I think when I beat Salt Papi, it's going to open a lot of doors for this influencer boxing game, just because it's going to come to a point where I start winning these fights, and the bigger names or like the scarier fighters, they can't say no. Like if I beat Salt Papi, King Kenny can't say no to fight me, or a
Definitely, yeah, boy.
That's big facts.
Whoever's out there, it's not like they're like, oh no, he's not relevant, he's not big enough. That's what it's been a lot for this fight game. I've been trying to fight for the last 2 years, and I haven't been able to get a fight. That's why I give Chase big props, because he was like that door opener for me. He got me back in the game, and here I am fighting again, a month and a half later, and versus a good guy too. So yeah, when I win this fight, I think the same thing happens. It's like, okay, well, now you can't say I'm not relevant. You can't say I'm not a good fighter. Before it was like, oh, it's a couple channel. Yeah, they have millions of subscribers. They have a huge audience, but does it convert to boxing? Like, that's what all these like set opponents would say. It's like, oh, their fans don't care about the fight, but you're gonna see January 14th that they do,
I mean, shit.
And
people know about him.
I mean, that fight did very well, and
it's kind of crazy that people like hate on him that hard when they let like TikToker niggas come who like literally they cannot bring any of their fan base over. Like I'd say Salt Papi is literally like one of the only TikTokers who's out there like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
we'll see. So Josh speaks really, really highly and respectfully of you, which is reciprocated. You speak highly of him as well. But ultimately, he's coming to beat you. He wants to get the respect that comes with beating Salt Papi. He wants to come and take that kudos, that credit away from you. How do you deal with, okay, you're going to be nice and respectful and friendly and everything else, but at the same time, you know what he's coming to try and take from you. You know that he's going to come and try and dethrone you as this most respected man in crossover boxing. How do you deal with being able to separate, if you like, those two mentalities?
I mean, I feel the same way as Josh. I'm trying to take everything away from him so I can get the bigger fights like Slim, Gib, Kenny, all these guys. And I believe I'm the most defensive boxer in YouTube boxing.
It blows my mind that people think that Kenny is the bigger fight. This nigga Kenny is 1-0. This nigga Salt Papi is bigger than Kenny in my head. That's for when it comes to boxing.
And as you guys can see, I had 2 fights with no damage taken, 100% HP, 200% shield. So yeah, I haven't taken any damage from my last 2 fights.
What happens in this fight? Is this the toughest fight of your career to date? Do we see those same numbers coming through?
I believe Josh is
I don't think I've ever in my life seen a Kenny video. I've seen like Kenny on Beta Squad, but I don't know. I ain't never seen Kenny by himself.
I believe Josh is a bigger, stronger, better opponent than Gibbs, Slim Kenny. So if I beat this guy, I should be on the top.
What about you, Josh? Is Salt the toughest career to date? Fight in your career to date?
I would say boxing wise, absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously, I had my previous MMA background, but I mean, this is years ago at this point. I mean, I haven't had an MMA fight in like 7 years, but yeah, I took some tough fights in MMA and it was the same way. I wanted to test myself, you know. My first pro fight, I fought the toughest guy in my state at the professional division, you know, at that level. Not because I'm arrogant, but because I want to take tough fights. Like that's why I do this. I want to push myself. So, but yeah, Saul Papi is definitely my toughest fight in boxing, and I think it'll be a fun one.
I want to talk about the crowd and the atmosphere and the environment, because when we were at Misfits 1, that was insane. 2 fights one night for KSI, a packed arena from the first minute to the last minute, and you've gone out there, Salt, and dare I say it, in case KSI sees
it, stupid. Stole the show. He did steal the show.
Kind of finish in front of that kind of crowd. It was that kind of performance. Now, Texas was amazing. Texas was something completely different. But with all due respect to Josh, I feel like Salt maybe had the larger crowd, the bigger expectations on his shoulders, etc. that night. Do you think maybe that gives you a bit of an edge there, Salt, in that you've seen this London crowd come out before and it's in your garden?
I mean, I was a dancer growing up, so performing in front of many people is what I do. I'm used to it.
Come on.
Just as calm as you
I used to go on Britain's Got Talent, like, you know, all this dance competition when I was younger, and yeah, I'm used to it. I just happened to box, like, you know, in part-time.
Part-time?
You know, as a hobby, you know what I mean?
Are you happy, Josh, that you potentially may be the bad guy? If you come over to London, where Salt is an incredibly popular young man, and you've got to be the guy that beats him, you might come out to a bit of a hostile environment.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even potentially. It's 100%. I wouldn't say the bad guy though, because you know, there's no bad blood, there's no beef here. You know, it's just two good fighters competing in the ring. And I would like to say, if Salt Papi was to win, he'd be respectful, and same when I win. And I think that's why the UK fans are going to respect that. And you know, at the end of the day, they might be there for Salt Papi, but everyone loves a knockout. You know.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even if it's their guy that goes down, you know, the crowd's going to go, ooh, and then you're like, oh, this Josh guy's for real. And then I'll be respectful on the mic and go about my day. But
we'll go home happy. I'm gonna end this.
Bro, I'd hope that my opponent talks like this, because I'd be like, yeah, bro, of course. I'd be hella respectful, bro. And then when I beat his ass, I'd be out there, I'd be like, I never thought this nigga had a chance. I knew I was gonna KO this little bitch ass nigga. Bum. Oh my God, I walked the floor with him like he was my little dog. I should have came out here with a leash for that fucking puppy. Oh my God, I would talk so much shit.
End it the same way that we end.
Sir, this fight needs to be a comment.
I agree. 100% agree. I mean, if you look at all the comments for these fights, the polls, this 100% has got to be the co-main.
It got to be the co-main, bro.
Maybe we get mums on the phone. Maybe we get mums on the phone. This
is that's not
one for me to answer, I'm afraid, fellas. But I want to wrap this up in the same way we wrap all of these up. I'm going to ask you both, and Salt, I'm going to start with you, and then Josh, I'll come to you. When everybody else gets out of the ring, the coaches get out of the ring, the cornermen, the trainers, you know, you've done your ring walk. There's the two of you and the referee in the middle. The first bell goes. So what happens?
I'm going to be smiling at Josh. Let's see what you got. Let's see, I'm going to tell him, let's see what you got. That's it.
Josh, over to you. Salt's smiling at you. The first bell's gone. You can't say I'm just going to smile back because that's not going to make for a great fight. What happens when everyone's out the ring? Salt's
you know what? I probably will.
Gone.
I probably will smile back, but at the same time, in my head, it's like it's gonna be locked in. You know, it's game time. Let's go out there. Let's see if
the awkward silence. I think they're just both too nice.
Whether he's about the hype or not,
they're just both too nice. They don't have any beef.
Business, you know, I'm gonna inflict my game plan. Whatever he does,
nothing wrong with that at all.
Chase. I hope he doesn't come out throwing punches like that. But if he does, we're gonna inflict my game plan and the night get my hand raised.
Well, January the 14th. I mean, Salt, you're smiling already. Salt.
There's no way I'm throwing my hands like Chase.
No, please don't. Please don't.
What do you think?
If I was Chase, I'd be like, bro, how am I getting
more
all of this bullshit right now?
Bombs straight away. Yeah?
Why are they giving me smoke?
You'll see, man. I believe I'm one of the most accurate boxers in YouTube boxing. Everything when it lands, you know, you can get knocked out.
Well, cards are close to our chests. We're all going to be smiling January 14th, but we find out which hype train gets derailed, which one comes off the tracks, who gets the knockout in London at a packed out Wembley Arena. January the 14th, live.
See, for this one easily, bro. I got Papi. I'm thinking he's gonna take it before the third round. No cap. Easy.